get a better view under this Boxster. Now, steps on 1 and 2. I'm going to remove both the right and the left diagonal aluminum cross member that's held on by 5 or 6 15mm nuts. Then I'm going to proceed and remove this, I'm going to call it a skid plate. I'm not sure exactly what it is. That's held on by 2 15mm nuts. And further to the front, it's held on by 2 15mm bolts. And that's just going to drop right down. And once those 3 pieces are removed, then I'm going to proceed and unbolt the sway bar here. So the bracket here, and it's bolted onto like a ball joint that goes to the rear suspension. Do it on both sides. I'm going to drop that. I will then proceed and work on the rusty old exhaust bolts that are right here on the flange to the catalytic converter. And then once that is apart, I will then proceed, so we can get this here. So this is, I call it a U channel. It's this little channel that goes across here, and then it moves up and bolts onto right here the bottom of the frame of the car. And that, I believe, the only purpose that really serves is to hold this skid plate up, along with the 2 bolts that are on the exhaust bracket that's bolted onto the transaxle. There's 2 nuts up there, one on each side, and then the muffler should come off. That's it, nothing to it, see? Here's sway bar removal. It's going to entail a 17mm wrench, a 13 and 15mm socket. 15mm socket. Loosen the tie rod ball joint that goes from the sway bar to the suspension. So lefty loosey, remember, and it starts spinning right away. 17mm wrench, spanner, put it in here and loosen that ball joint slash tie rod. Like before, I'd like to replace the nut here, so I don't have to search for it and put the car back together. I'll come to this U bracket here, holds the tie rod on, 13mm. $15mm socket, 17mm wrench. So the other thing you need to do is you need to reinstall the sump cover bolts before this engine comes out. Yes, that's something I should have done right after I drained the oil. I've got the bad news because it's been leaking ever since. That's probably my least favorite part here. Removing the 3 nuts on this triangular flange. Most likely it's all seized and have to cut it or break it. Oh, this is not gonna work. Somebody already, what's in here? This is not a 13. This looks like a 12mm. I'm sure it's stripped here. Yeah, of course it's stripped. Let's try this one here. Same thing. I have this beautiful rounded nut and bolt remover. Has these pins inside, and when you put any kind of force in it, it's gonna bite in, and hopefully we get lucky and it's just gonna come right off like butter. Let's see. It's perfect that it broke off. Not so perfect now it's stuck in here. Okay, got it out. Next, same thing. Nice, put it on nice and tight and give it. You shouldn't be trying this, but I'm doing it like that. But it works for me. Trying to just get in there just to kind of work it loose. One of our safety glasses for this for sure. All kinds of crud is going to come flying down, falling down your face. I don't remember exactly how I got to the top one here, but I'm going to go with an extension and go from behind. The bottom one seems to be studs, only bolts on the towards the front, and the top one, because you can't get a ratchet back here. I don't know what's back here. I'm going to put a socket here. Let's see if it's the same size. No. I find it very unfortunate when people start hodgepodging a Porsche of all cars. So this is, only have one more tool in my toolbox here, and this is a same thing, nut and bolt extractor, but in a wrench format. This is actually a 3/8. Let's see. Okay, this is my last taupe, 5/16 to fit on there. Nothing. So I shall just move over onto this side. Wow, it's like a baby nut. Oh, yeah, let's come to the rescue. Not painful at all. It's turning actually. Oh, that's more remarkable actually. Wow. Of course, it's the one that's hardest to reach. All I can think of right now is to hacksaw it off with this little trusty hacksaw thingy. Well, that was not fun, but I got two of them. And now, two 13mm nuts that hold the muffler onto the muffler support bracket that's mounted onto the transaxle. Here's one. I'll show you how I'm going to the other one. I'm going to try with this extension here. Try to go behind here perhaps, maybe that might work. That's not going to work at all actually. So back to plan A. No extension. And just kind of find your way up there somewhere. It is actually, you probably can't see this, and I'm putting my, there's a lot of crud on that nut. Laying on my back, putting my right hand over the transaxle to help me position the socket. And now I'm going to try to loosen that. Here we go. Not a lot of room up there. It's pretty tight. Actually, I don't even think I need to take that bracket off to take the muffler on, do I? Let's see. Yes, I do, because this little heat shield here is going to get stuck. Or might not. Well, whatever. It's got to come off sooner or later, so I might as well take it off now. Okay, so that's off. Let's see if I can wiggle this muffler loose. Nope. This is the difference between a Canada car and a Florida car. As a little more persuasion, spread the flanges apart. I spare you my pain. I didn't record that. But essentially what I did, I put in a very fine chisel, spread it apart. Then I use a screwdriver to spread it apart. And then I use a bigger screwdriver to spread it apart. And then just popped apart. So now it should just come right off. Just like that, and the exhaust is off. Anybody can do this. If I can do it, you can do it. That is no joke. Okay, I am gonna call it a day. Again, I'm leaving this muffler support bracket on the car. Alright, let's finish for the day and have at it again tomorrow. Cheerio!